All right, we'll hand you over to Ebi Yomo now, who has all the latest developments in the world of sports. Ebi, over to you.
Well, thank you, Ngozi. We'll begin with Boniface, who has been ruled out of the 2023 African Cup of Nations with a groin injury. The 23-year-old is expected to return to Germany, where he will begin treatment for the injury. The injury is expected to keep Boniface out for around 6 weeks. The striker sustained the injury during one of the team's training sessions in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. A decision is expected to be made on his replacement soon, with OGC Nice forward Terry Murphy favoured to replace him in the 25-man squad. Well, still on the Super Eagles, Nigeria's team, the Super Eagles, stumbled in the final tune-up match before the African Cup of Nations, losing 2-0 to Guinea in an international friendly at the Bani Yas Stadium in Abu Dhabi. The Eagles, playing in Abu Dhabi, conceded goals in both halves and failed to find their rhythm throughout the match. Guinea struck first in the 14th minute, dampening the spirits of the Nigerian team, and Moses Simon frittered away a chance from the penalty spot to equalize in the 19th minute. The Guinean goalkeeper saved Simon's attempt. The second half brought a little improvement for the Super Eagles, who conceded a second goal in the 64th minute. Meanwhile, with the African Cup of Nations set to kick off in less than a week, President Bola Tinubu has cleared all outstanding debts the federal government owes the Super Eagles and all other national teams of the country. Despite this, football fans still have doubts on how well the team will perform in Ivory Coast. Super Eagles to win a fourth continental trophy in Ivory Coast has received a boost as the federal government recently announced that it has approved the payment of 12 billion naira outstanding backlog for Nigeria's national teams of various sports, which includes the 15 months unpaid salary of Coach Jose Pacero and his backroom staff, and all the allowances and bonuses due to the senior national team. While this should serve as a morale booster, some fans are still pessimistic of the team's performance at the Mundial.
The fund approved is a stimulant to the Super Eagles if they actually mean business in the African Cup of Nations. All the football pundits, lovers of the game, have rightly said that the team has good attackers, the team has good wingers, but some will tell you they have reservation for the midfielders, they have reservation for the goalkeeping department. But this is a time for the midfielders and as well the goalkeeping department to prove football pundits wrong by going extra mile to do the job in the field of play.
To me, I don't think money is their problem. I think they lack passion and the motivation to play. But let's see, the money has come. Let's see if the money will be more motivation to them, because it's our Nigeria boys now.
Every sport and every deserve motivation, and if they are owing them and they release the money, of course it will take them a long way. But they'll get excited. Yes, their effort is not a waste.
But they shared diverse opinions on how far the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who are paired in Group A alongside host Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau and Equatorial Guinea, can go.
Well, I think the crop of players Nigeria has currently are not bad too. I might see them getting up to the quarterfinals. Then from there, anything can happen.
Well, for Nigeria in particular, we have Victor Osimhen, who recently won the African Footballer of the Year. So with likes of him and the Ahmed Musa and other midfielders we have and the four players, it is actually certain that Nigeria will do better for this one. We even hope that they bring back the cup home.
My problem is with the goalkeeper. Say the goalkeeper has some shortcomings. If we can have a substitute of his type like two stand by, so that if there's, in every game, I want our technical crew to change our goalkeeper, because now the football is not just mere game again. Every members of that CAF, they are all well to do in terms of football. I see Nigeria go back to 2013. We are winning the cup. When they went to South Africa, we underrated them.
With the matches they played before now and the people that they'll be playing against, I don't think. Let's see, they'll get past the group stage, hopefully, and maybe get knocked out in the quarterfinals. Personally, for me, I don't see Nigeria winning this Afcon.
Though Nigeria's journey in the African Cup of Nations may not be easy, with potential matchups against other football powerhouses like Ghana or Egypt in the knockout stages. It is hoped that with a recent motivation, the Super Eagles will better their performance and avoid an early exit like the last Afcon tournament in Cameroon. AB Iyamo, Arise News. That's all sports news. Over now to Ngozi and Sulaiman.
Well, anyway, I think that looks like a big setup for the new year, because we were meant to take the stories and have talked to us about sports, but it was a good setup. Yeah. But again, looking at what you've highlighted so far, and I'm looking at the Super Eagles and the new man who may be filling in, what do we really know about him, and how of a potential is he for our new team, our new lineup?
Well, I think, first of all, Victor Boniface's absence due to this injury is going to be a big blow, because I think Nigerians were already struggling to accept the fact that Wilfred Ndidi, who is a midfielder, Nigeria's core holding midfielder, will not be at the Afcon. Well, he was already replaced by Al-Hassan Yusuf. So now, having Boniface out means he will just have Victor Osimhen, Sadiq Umar, pending when another striker comes into play. But everyone knows that at this moment, aside Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface is like one of the hottest strikers in Europe, with all the goals and his assists. Not just with Nigeria missing him at the Afcon, his team by Leverkusen will also miss him, because he's going to be out for an estimated six weeks. So it's crazy for a side that Nigeria has been topsy-turvy, not predictable. So at this point, losing out on Victor Osimhen and Victor Boniface, who would have definitely sparked a lot of light at the Afcon, is a big blow for Nigeria.
And you would think that President Tinubu's massive generosity of clearing 12 billion would, excite a lot of Nigerians, but not many of them are excited about it. Not because they're not impressed that the president has paid off this backlog.
But because of the team.
Yeah.
As so many say, you cannot give what you do not have, no matter how much is being spent on you. We've heard some in 2019, the issues were with money. In 2022, that's in Cameroon, there's a lot of issues with money still. But now you look at the setup, aside the strikers, Nigeria has so many strikers. You have Victor Osimhen, you have Sadiq Umar, you have Terry Murphy, and the likes. But the midfield, the defense, the goalkeeping department, so you can't play 8 strikers or 8 forwards in one match. You have to mix them up with defenders and midfielders and goalkeepers. So I think that is a major bone of contention when Nigerians look at every game week in, week out. And there's a lot of people have opined that there's really no leadership on the pitch. Ahmed Musa is on the bench. So what's going to happen when it really push comes to shove? Nigeria will play against Ivory Coast, who already had the home advantage, a Guinea-Bissau and Guinea side, who they beat Nigeria here in Abuja. So what are the odds that this cannot happen if they do not take the group stage seriously?
Very quickly before you go, what's with this friendly that we lost 2-0? I wasn't feeling too cool reading that on the news earlier.
But the funny thing is that when it comes to African football, nothing is predictable. In Cameroon, Choupo-Moting, who played for Bayern Munich, in Nigeria, if he were Nigerian, I'm very sure he would have been the first choice striker. But he has an Abubakar who plays for Turkey and was playing in Saudi Arabia before being the top man. So when it comes to African football, anything could happen. The physicality, the intensity, it could actually wow any player at the highest levels. I think that what happened in this game, but it could be a blessing in disguise. Losing your first game before a tournament could make you buckle up, because if they have been winning, probably they'll go in with complacency.
It's interesting you say African football is not predictable. I wonder why. I mean, you're not able to say, look, this is what can happen based on A, B, C, D.
It's not predictable because for so many reasons. First of all, you look at the physique, you look at the temperature, you look at a lot of things to put into place. Now, you look at a European player, you go with a lot of tactics and all. But African football, you just hit and pass, and you can't bring that. There's no space for you to actually exercise all those skills at all in African football.
Unfortunately.
Well, maybe I think we should do this more often, right? A promise. Your fans are asking. A promise?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Biyomo.